Peter's in Battersea. How would you do it, Peter? Good morning.
Hello there, great show, Nick. As per usual.
Very kind of you.
I'm going to disagree with me, but I think that we should, if people come over on the boats and they come over illegally, which is illegal, I believe that we should build, rather than building houses, we should build prisons.
Ah, I see. Sorry, this is asylum. I'm so sorry. I misread. OK, so this is after the interview with Graham Stringer, who suggested we use islands off the French coast or islands in the Thames and put tents up. Would you support that?
No. What we should do is we should build prisons and we put them straight in prison because it's illegal, right? So everybody who does anything illegal in this country, they should go to prison.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay. But we haven't got enough prisons for our prisoners, Peter.
Well, exactly. So rather than building houses, we should build prisons. So for the illegals, then what we should do is we should get them back on the boat, right? Then somebody who's driving it with diplomatic community drive straight back to France and leave the boat there and leave them at France.
Okay, let's just back up a little. And you're right. The problem has to be dealt with. If we build these prisons, where are we going to put them? Because no one will want a prison built alongside them, so there will be local opposition, which will be championed by the local council. And if you have a crew that takes a boat across the channel and you leave the boat, how are the crew going to get back?
Well, you just have like a little speedboat outside of the
It's not really going to work, that is it? When you think about it.
Well, of course it will. I mean, they can come over on the boats. I mean, it's about 20 people who come over on the boats. I'm sure that we can get a nice speedboat to go back again. Look. The thing is, they go inside the prison, and then they go back outside the prison onto the boat.
Where are we going to put these prisons, Peter? No one's going to want an asylum seeker prison built next door to them, are they?
Well. I mean, we need more prisons anyway.
Right, but in some instances, these people have legitimate claim to be in this country.
Well, not if you come over illegally.
But this is almost akin to... the only thing that differentiates this from ICE in the United States is we're not shooting them. Other than that, it's the same sort of approach.
But they've committed an offence by coming over illegally. So what you're saying is that it's okay to be illegal.
But there's no legal route. There's no legal route for them. In some instances.
Well, that's tough, isn't it? Well, there is a legal route. There's the Channel Tunnel.
Well, no, they're not allowed into the country without visas. That's why the reason they seek to do this from Sudan or whatever it is they can't get a visa, so they're going to try and come in through Dover at the dead of night or whenever it might be.
Well, they're already in a country where they can. All
right. You're obviously very much against this. Lastly, the MP said islands with sort of tents with large marquees, maybe an island in the Thames or something. How does that grow?
No, because that'll cost us thousands and millions and millions.
Hold on, how much do you think it costs to build a prison?
We need prisons anywhere. We're short of prisons.
All right, OK. I think we're going round in circles. Peter, I'm going to file it as an idea. Thank you. Same subject, Jerry in Croydon. The government is now off its trolley. Why are they proposing so-called asylum seekers get council houses built for them while British people have to wait forever? It's time for the government pack up its bags and go, someone else could surely do better. Richard in Workington, same subject. Richard, your view on that. Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
All right, thank you. What do you make
Nick,
of... Go on.
Nick, we just need fences, mate. We don't need prisons.
Fences?
These military places, these disused military places, why don't we stick 15-foot fences round them all, have them policed, and stick these people in there and keep them there? Don't let them out. Don't let them wander around.
That's Crowborough, though, isn't it? That's what's happening down in Sussex, and it's got the people furious.
Well, we letting the... I watched... there was a meeting in a church once, and there was a police officer stood up and somebody said, why can't we curfew these people? Why can't we keep them in at night? This police officer said, well, we can't because they've done nothing wrong. Well, surely coming here illegally is breaking the law, and as such, you can then deal with them by locking them up somewhere, wherever it is.
Look, I'm totally with you. The current system isn't working, but I do need to point out that many of these countries, there is no legal route for them to pursue anyway, so there is no legal way to get here. And secondly, I don't know what it says about a country if they get treated like that when they come here, during which I understand often 80% of these people are allowed to stay. So they can...
if they knew that was going to happen to them when they came here, do you not think they would stop coming?
I do. I think we have absolutely, as Emmanuel Macron said last year, we have to break the allure, the attraction of coming to the UK.
It's like the cane in the headmaster's drawer, isn't it? He didn't have to use it to keep everybody in line. It was the fact that it was there that people behaved. Now, if we've got some censure and we've got some sort of system where if you come to this country, this will happen to you, you will go to Rwanda, you will go wherever, you will go,
No, I hear you. It's
Do you not think I might just say, well...
Yes, but I don't imagine lastly you'd want to go down the way of ICE, the organisation in the United States. These are almost ICE-like tactics, aren't they?
Well... Not exactly, but we just roll over and...
I know. No, there has to be an in-between, because it is not working. 900 arrived in January. Weather was pretty inclement as well. 900 souls arrived. Fortunately, I don't think there are any drownings, but the attraction, the magnet continues. Richard, thank you. Michael's in Mile End to talk about the asylum process. Building council houses solely for asylum seekers. Your reaction to that? Good morning.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Hello. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I know I've only got a few minutes, but one of your callers called in just now, and I was, to say the least, I was a little bit appalled at some of the things he was saying. And I'd like to ask that gentleman if he actually knows his history. If everybody treated everybody that way, the British wouldn't be in other countries like Africa. Where Africans are struggling today because of the fact that every time they get a foothold, somebody somewhere says go down there and take them down.
Which country in Africa is that?
Well, there's loads of countries in Africa,
No. Which country is that you said they get a foothold and then... you said somebody comes along and takes them down. Which country are we talking about?
Well, if I'm going to talk... my parents are both from Nigeria.
Right.
And I don't want to go into Nigerian history because, at the end of the day, I know my history and I know a lot of things.
You said that African countries start to do well and then they get taken down. But I'm only asking which country you're talking about, Michael.
Well, like I said, there's various... Nigeria's one. You got Burkina Faso who are trying to get a foothold, and you got certain leaders, and I'm not going to name them.
Yeah, but that's not the West, is it?
It's the West, the West, right?
How is the West involved in what's happening? And some of them are horrific events in Nigeria. How's the West involved in that now?
Listen, let's not try and teach our grannies to suck eggs. You understand? A lot of us, it doesn't have to be in the news. You understand? We know. Right, we know that there's a lot of things that go on in certain countries. I mean, come on, you're trying to tell me that there's no British influence in places like Nigeria and places like...
Of course there is, but your point was that an African country starts, to use your expression, gets a foothold, and then the West knocks it down. And I don't think you can point to any country.
You know what? I can point to many countries.
Well, just share some of them with me.
All right, okay, fine. Right, Nigeria...
But
right,
Nigerians.
Hold on. Nigeria, right, is a country that if people butted out, right, the corruption that goes on there, and people keep calling Nigerians fraudulent and corrupt.
I don't.
Well, you're a minority, my brother. You're a minority. You are one of hundreds.
But surely. You must see, Michael, the problems... Now, whether some of the groundwork for the problems was laid by West involved, but the problems today in Nigeria are Nigerian-made, not British-made.
Oh, brother, let's not fool ourselves. Come on now. Right, come on now. Nigerians bring their money to England, and England welcomes them, sells them houses, and gives them all sorts of titles, and, they all backslap each other, and you're trying to tell me that the British influence isn't there? Come on.
But how is that affecting daily life of Nigerians?
Because the Nigerian economy is absolutely rubbish, so Nigerians come over here, some of them illegally, right, and they try to make a better life for themselves.
All right, OK. Michael, I've enjoyed our conversation. Look after yourself. Adam's in Maidstone. Your reaction to that, Adam? Good morning.
Hiya, Nick. Yeah, that's just a crazy thought. I mean, it's the fairness. This is what people get really wound up with, is the fairness of it. It's like, hold on a minute, you've got veterans sleeping out in the street that have fought for the country, PTSD, and then you've got illegal migrants throwing their documents in the channel and they get free brand new houses. It's the fairness of it that winds people up. But I have wrote some steps down and some points where I think I can take a centre-right view on this.
Good.
Where it's humane and it's correct.
Right. Go ahead.
So, Obviously, do all these things in conjunction with each other. So step one, you need to minimise the pull factor. So taking away certain benefits like free mobile phones and day trips out, stuff like that. Minimise the pull factor. Give them just enough so they can get by, okay?
Yep.
Step two, make it law and known if you arrive in Britain via an illegal route, i.e. a small boat crossing or the back of a lorry, you'll never be able to claim asylum. If anybody does arrive via a legal route, you'll be detained.
How are you going to get here if you've come from Sudan?
So you go via a port of entry, an airport or a seaport with your documents. If you are fleeing prosecution or a dangerous country and you're willing to pay £5,000 to come over on a dinghy, you can pay £1,000 on a Wizz Air flight to get over here.
And indeed, it's going to be a lot cheaper than paying the people traffickers.
Exactly. And then we're minimising these gangs. We're not paying them any money. You give Wizz Air some money or whatever, whatever flight to come over. With your documents, you go, I am from X country. The people go onto the system. Yes, that is a dangerous country. They have a genuine claim. So we know that people coming across on the small boats, yes, there is a proportion of them that are generally fleeing prosecution. Fair play. But we know a hell of a lot of them are not fleeing prosecution. That's the problem.
That's the problem, and that's the solution as you see it. Adam, thank you.